Good morning, St. Louis. How are you? And happy Friday. Yes, this is Arch City Now, but this is not Vic Faust. If you are joining us on the YouTube channel, you will see that it is a very less attractive fella than Vic Faust. I don't have the face for TV. I really don't. I would love to say that I do, but I do not. My name is Tony Patrico, and it is absolutely amazing to be able to talk to you on this Friday morning, St. Louis. For those of you who are unfamiliar with who I am, and you're like, who is this guy? Who's talking to me right now? Well, I used to work in radio in St. Louis for a very long time, almost 20 years, which is insane. I mean, Joe, that's insane that I was crazy. I can't, it makes me feel very old, like very old. But I worked for a radio station here in town, the rock station, for a very long time. And I had a bit of a controversy involving me that led to my ultimate termination from the radio station. And I know yesterday when I went online, I went on socials, I promoted that I was going to be filling in for Vic today. There was a ton of support, man, a ton of support, and a lot of people really excited.
That's awesome.
To hear me back on the air, which was great. Now, Joe, you are not new to the game. There was a lot of people that weren't too thrilled about me and my return to radio. But here's the thing, and I just want to say this, and I just want to do this right off the bat so we can just kind of move on and focus on having a great Friday, okay? I made mistakes, screwed up. I owned my mistakes 100%. This is on me. And if you don't want to support me or anything that I'm doing, listen, I understand that and I respect that. All I'm asking is that you just kind of see where things go and give me every opportunity to prove how you think about me wrong. And that's it. And that's it. I think that I have truly paid the penance. I mean, I have worked on myself unbelievably the past 2.5 years. And the fact that I'm sitting here today able to talk to St. Louis is an honor because this is where I live. This is where I grew up. This city means a ton to me. And I'm just very excited that I get to do this again and talk to you guys and really talk about St. Louis, man, because in all reality, I used to work on the show and we talked about everything. That show, we talk about absolutely everything. But now that I get to focus on St. Louis, oh man, it means a whole bunch because I really, truly do love this city. So I don't want to spend all 2 hours this morning talking about that. That's not what I want to do. I want to talk about St. Louis and I want to talk to you guys. So get involved. You know, you can go to louinfo.com. You can see the website. You can get all the contact information there. You can give us a call. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, on TikTok, X, Instagram. Joe, you're about my age, right?
I don't know.
Maybe a little older. Yeah. I'm 40.
I'm about 10 years older than
okay, you. All right, that's fine. But like, do you still call it Twitter or have you called it X?
I still call it Twitter. I am acclimating a little bit now, but yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm starting to learn how to use TikTok, which that game is way too advanced for me, man, with algorithms and filters. I tried to just post a video promoting that I was going to be on the show today. Next thing I know, I'm getting comments and blown up. Why are your eyelashes look so ridiculous? Why are you wearing makeup? Like, I'm not wearing makeup. That's not. And then I look, whatever filter that I accidentally used when I uploaded this, it truly made me look like a diva.
Nice beauty filter.
Oh, dude, it was ridiculous. And I don't know if it was AI that did it or if it was me that did it by mistake, but it truly made me look ridiculous. And it's funny because we were having a conversation before we jumped on the air here about AI. AI is great. It really is. It is not only helping us when it comes to the workplace, helping us when it comes to the medical field. I mean, I guarantee you, in government and in politics, they're using AI as far as strategic planning and logistics and things like that. It is everywhere. It is in every facet of our lives.
I guarantee it's writing speeches too.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know that I'm a wrestling nerd and I like wrestling. And there was a report that came out that some of these wrestlers said that, you know, they're being instructed to use AI to help them write their in-ring promos, which is
makes sense.
it's very smart. However, AI is also still new, guys.
Yeah.
So remember that. So when you're preparing for a radio broadcast, sitting down with Cam Jansen and Jamal Mayers, and you want to quiz them and see if they know how many goals they've scored in their career, and you say, "Oh, yeah, it's 32." And they look at you like you were the biggest dope because it was like 8. I mean, my number was so off. My number was unbelievably off. But AI helps, man. You just got to be careful.
You want to fact check your AI.
You got to fact check everything. But I've been getting creative with my AI because I use it a lot for my other job, which by the way, so I ended up taking a job in sports marketing, and I work for a company called Eyesight Media. And everybody always says, well, what do you guys do at Eyesight Media? And I say to them, oh, we're in sports marketing. We sell digital advertising inside of pro and NCAA sports arenas. And they go, whoa, that's awesome. In all reality, if you've gone to a Blues game or any event at Enterprise Center and you've gone into the restroom, those screens, that's what we sell. I sell those commercials on those screens.
Nice.
So, you know, as I'm prospecting businesses and as I'm looking for folks to reach out to here in the St. Louis area and nationally, I use a lot of AI. You know, hey, take this email and make it less businessy, less salesy. But I've gotten bored. So at times I ask it to talk to me like it's a pirate. And Joe, I'm telling you, man, what they do is it makes you think that you're talking to a pirate. You can have a full-blown conversation. I could say, hey, AI, for the next 10 minutes of this conversation, talk to me like you are somebody that forgot how to pronounce the word the. And it'll put duh, D-U-H, every time it uses the word the, which is absolutely incredible. So Vic is out today. I believe he's on vacation, right? He's having a great time. He's been on vacation all week, but yet still been able to talk to you guys and, you know, keep Arch City Now going. And I'm honored that he asked me to fill in today, and I'm excited to have a whole lot of fun.
I'm excited to have you here too, man.
I appreciate that, man. And I know, you know, my version of Arch City Now is going to be much different than Vic's version of Arch City Now, but that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of what we do for a living, because my personality is going to be different from the next personality. That's going to be different from the next. And my goal today is you're probably on your way to work. You're just getting ready. If you're an early bird, you're already at work, getting settled at your desk. I just want to make your Friday be just a little bit better. That's it. My motto for the past 2.5 years has been, do whatever I can today to make tomorrow all right. I'm not even looking to make it good, just to make it all right. That's all I want, is to make tomorrow all right. So that's the goal today. And Greg in the chat room here says, heaven help us if they put in a wife mode for AI. Oh boy, no thank you. I'd be like, AI, talk to me for the next 10 minutes like you're my fiance. And it would go, perfect. What have you done today? Whoa,
what could you be doing?
Wait a minute. I say, hey, AI, give me the most delicious burger restaurant that's within 5-mile radius. And it would go, we've got food at home. You don't need to go get a burger. Have you been on the treadmill lately?
That would save me some money.
Yeah. Just to get shamed by AI and to not ordering DoorDash anymore, which, by the way, I am very happy to announce. It just happened yesterday. I deleted DoorDash, Uber Eats, all of them off my phone.
That is a commitment I'm just not ready for.
Off. I looked back, looking at my finances, and I think it was like the month of May, I spent like $386 on all those apps for a total of like $19 worth of food. And I went, nope, this is it for me, man. This is it. I'm definitely not doing that. So, you know, in addition to working at Eyesight and doing things like that, I actually have a show here on the Lou Information Station. It's every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 3 to 4, and it is called Sounds of STL. And my whole concept of what I wanted to do when I came back to radio was, obviously I have a music focus. I have a lot of music in my past when it comes to radio and going to concerts, and not to mention that, you know, I've been a fan of music, and I would say a diehard fan of music, which is why I got into this industry in the first place for a very long time. I also make music. You know, I did the Futon Wilson thing, which was our little pop rap fun group thing. I've been making a lot more rock music, things like that. Music is important to me. And I feel like it's important to a lot of people in the St. Louis area as well. So I wanted to marry the two things, my love of St. Louis and my love of music. So I decided that with the community's help, I wanted to create St. Louis's playlist, one concert, one band, one artist at a time. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I had a lot of fun. And we are creating the official STL playlist. So it lives on Spotify right now, and you can go there. You can just search for the official Sounds of STL playlist, and you'll see all the songs that we have added as a community to this playlist. And Joe, I don't want to go over every song we've added to this list because it's obnoxious, but I did want your input in us talking about the songs that we added the very first week, which were the songs that are so St. Louis.
Right. I have a few.
Okay, bring it. I want to know. I want to see what's on your list and see if it made our list as well.
Right. I was just going to say, I don't know if it's already on your list. However, you want the first one now?
Yeah, bring it to me.
All right. How about Stabbing Westward?
Ooh, Stabbing Westward
Save Yourself.
is a great one. Great one.
I've got
for sure.
And you've already got SZA on there, but I like the song Snooze better.
You know what? And I do too. And we kind of went back and forth on who we wanted to add to this playlist. And when SZA came up, there's a lot of options that we could have gone with. I think we picked All the Stars just because it's probably the biggest song. And it's one of those playlists that we wanted everybody to be able to kind of punch into and do it. So yeah. What else do you got on there?
All right. Well, and Michael McDonald, you put in you had what was it?
Yamo Be There, baby.
Yeah. I like What a Fool Believes, man.
Oh God. I mean, that is such a great song. That is such a great song. And the beautiful thing about Michael McDonald is I think he goes as one of the under the radar, one of the underrated St. Louis guys, because again, you know who Michael McDonald is, but like when we were talking about Michael McDonald on the podcast with my fiance, she had no idea he was in Doobie Brothers.
Yeah. And you didn't, I don't, he was in another band too.
Steely Dan.
Yeah. Okay. That wasn't mentioned.
I think I mentioned it very briefly. I was he did this for Steely Dan, but like, yeah, I had no idea. But I mean, would you say that the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin is the reason that a lot of people know the name Michael McDonald?
Oh man. But also Caddyshack.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
But they made the joke around Michael McDonald when Paul Rudd's character was having an absolute crash out in the electronics store. And ever since then, at least for me, and I think for people that are around my age, I think they hit that right away, dude, because it is absolutely insane. What are your thoughts on us adding 2 Nelly songs? I know that was controversial for some people because they were like, what, are we just going to add in Nelly's entire catalog?
You know, to be honest with you, it probably should be, because every song that he sings, every song that he wrote pretty much has to do with St. Louis.
I found out something yesterday that I had no idea, like literally no idea was even a thing. And that was the fact that Nelly and Ashanti have a reality show on Peacock. And when I saw that pop up, because apparently they've been together, they broke up, they just had a baby, they're married, they're not married. I honestly, when I saw this pop up on my Peacock, it was like the first thing kind of running the trailer. In my head, I went, am I stuck in 2003? Because are we asking for a Nelly and Ashanti reality show?
Right.
Like, it seems a little awkward that we're revisiting something that both of them had their popularity in probably 2003.
It makes you wonder who had the idea. Where did this come from? And Yeah. Why now of all
I
times?
have no idea.
I guess it's trying to make a comeback kind of thing.
Yep, for sure. Again, we want you guys to get involved in the show. We want you guys to hop in the chat room. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. We have a ton of things that we can get to today. What I want to do when we get back from the break, though, and I can't take credit for this, Joe, I'm going to give you credit for this. We are going to do St. Louis's Would You Rather. We're going to give you two scenarios. We want you guys to help out and let us know what you would pick between these scenarios, and all of them have a St. Louis feel. So we will do that right after the break. This is Arch City Now on the Lou Information Station, online and on demand 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Want to learn about the best places to eat in the Lou? Tune in to Dinner Rush with Joe Fresta each Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Good start.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow all the station social media accounts and podcasts. Find out how at louinfo.com.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody. It's our favorite song.
This is former Cardinal and Navy Lieutenant Mitch Harris. Salute those who serve. Join the Cardinals on Friday, July 11th for Military Appreciation Night, presented by Boeing. With a special themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Cardinals 40-ounce tumbler, honoring all 6 military branches. Arrive early for a powerful pregame concert by the U.S. Air Force Band on the Budweiser stage. And best of all, a portion of each ticket benefits USO Missouri. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/state. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Scammers are disguising themselves as Ameren Solar salespeople to dupe St. Louis residents. That morning from Ameren, Missouri, customers in St. Louis County have gotten calls and have been approached in person by people who are posing as Ameren workers. The fake workers have supposedly tried to get people to, quote, evaluate their homes for a made-up solar power project. The St. Louis County Pet Adoption Center is asking the public for help. A release stated Thursday that the county shelter responded to a cruelty case resulting in several large dogs being rescued, including 2 pregnant dogs, which were able to then give birth safely. In all, over 40 animals are new residents of the shelter. Fosters or adopters are needed as the shelter is at capacity of 210 animals. With the 4th of July almost here, St. Louis leaders are cautioning residents about fireworks. Officials say fireworks could pose danger this year, as many homes are still damaged and vulnerable due to recent storms. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Sandy Connor.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. Quick low pressure system moving through our area today. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible in the midday and afternoon hours. Mix of sun and clouds, we're going up to about 90. A few showers overnight and mid-70s. And then for Saturday and Sunday, we'll be getting scattered showers and thunderstorms. Our highs in the low 90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service. Better care. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. That's 800-891-6335.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel. A delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here. And when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
City Now, and if you are one of those folks that are in the chat room right now, you will see I am not Vic Faust. I am Tony Patrico filling in today for Vic. He is on vacation, some much deserved R&R there, and he hit me up, and I was so excited to say yes. And I know, we were all three, myself, Joe, and Vic, on a text chain, and I remember he texted, he said, "Hey, can you let me know? Is this going to happen?" And I was, yes, exclamation point. Yes. I love it. Yes, I'm very excited. And thank you for tuning in to Arch City Now on the Lou Information Station. If you do want to get involved in the show, feel free. You can give us a call, 855-282-8255. You can also find us on all the socials. And again, if you are listening on 590 right now, you can, when you get to work, you could just pop on the YouTube chat. I'd love to say hi to you in the chat room there. I did want to bring this up before we dive into this St. Louis Would You Rather. Greg in the chat room here says, everything is being recycled. Songs, shows, movies, and he calls them requels, which
that's a good name.
He's right. He's right, because even things that you think feel new, that for the moment, they feel like they're brand new and you've never seen this before, after about 10 minutes in, you go, this is familiar. And to be honest with you, and I'm curious as to what Greg has to say about this, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I like what I like.
It depends.
If you're going to tweak something just a little bit and make it just enough different, because I like what I like. And if you're going to give me that, I will accept that. I'll take that.
All right. What about Ghostbusters? Was it 3?
Okay. Nope. We're going to move on from Ghostbusters. That's enough of that. Thank you, Joe, for making me prove my point wrong. Okay. Perfect. Again, if you want to get involved, feel free, call, jump in the chat room. We want you guys to interact with this as well. We're going to be talking about St. Louis's Would You Rather list. And I tasked Joe with coming up with some. I have some as well. And you know how Would You Rathers work. Would You Rathers are, would you rather, jump out of a plane with no parachute, or would you rather have to escape a burning building with no firefighters in sight? Usually two scenarios that aren't the best outcome either way. You just have to pick which is the best of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I'll give you a very easy one to start off. One of these has to go. Provel cheese or toasted ravioli.
Oh, okay.
One of them have to go. And I could tell you for me, it's a very easy answer. I love toasted ravioli. Love it. There are so many different versions of toasted ravioli while all still maintaining the integrity of what a T-Rav is. But for me, I'm not getting rid of Provel cheese. I like Provel cheese on my salads, on my pizza. I'm a fan of processed manufactured cheese. I mean, hey, I used to be 400 pounds.
Yeah.
That was proof in itself.
I was almost 500 pounds.
Dude, look at us.
I know,
we used
right?
to be a whole lot of fellas, and now we are, I wouldn't say svelte. we look a little better.
Yeah.
We'll say that. We'll look a little
Just
better.
a tad.
Okay, how about this one? Would you rather be stuck in Highway 40 traffic no matter what time of the day, no matter what day of the week, or have to, every time you drive somewhere, when you parked, you had to parallel park and it was like you were on the hill on peak restaurant hours?
I'd rather do the parking.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in 40 traffic every day.
Come on, man. I mean, listen, sitting in traffic is fine. I get to listen to shows like Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station. I also get to listen to my audiobooks, get caught up on music that I missed. And I don't know, sitting in traffic really doesn't bother me all that much.
See, I can parallel park like a champ, though.
I can too. I'm pretty good. There's been multiple times when we've gone down to like Soulard or we've gone down to the hill and I've had to parallel park and I do it. And after I do it, I don't necessarily put the car in park or turn the car off right away. I give it about 5 to 7 seconds and I look to my fiance. Are you going to say how good that was? Like, that was pretty flawless.
Waiting for the pat on the back.
That was pretty flawless. Joe, how about this? For the rest of your life, you are only allowed to say Missouri, or you can only refer to it as the Lou.
The Lou.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too, because as much as, you know, me being a 40-year-old white dude trying to call this city the Lou all the time seems very forced and very ridiculous, I just don't think I can bring myself to call this Missouri.
Yeah, that's like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, God, that in Illinois. This is not a plural state. We're not two of us here. That's not how this works. Do you have any of these St. Louis would you rathers?
I do. Let's see. How about climb to the top of Monk's Mound, which is the tallest mountain in Cahokia Mounds.
Okay.
During a heat wave.
Why you got to add to it?
Oh no, there's more.
Why you got to add to it?
Only to realize that there's no bathroom and you've had way too much coffee.
Oh.
Or have a skinny dip in the murky waters of the Mississippi right off the landing at noon.
Well, I mean, you took it pretty extreme. And I think, unfortunately, I think this is easy. I think it's skinny dip in the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Because I'm a home guy. I want to perform my best at home. If you get what I'm saying there.
Right.
So
yeah,
being on the top of that. Oh, here's a good one. Again, Greg in the chat room. You can only pick one. Seasons go away. Do you pick St. Louis summer or St. Louis winter?
Winter, hands down.
You know, yes, I think that would, in the end, be my answer. But, man, I hate driving in winter weather.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and I think this is also former fat guy thinking, is that we can always put on more layers. You can only take so much off.
Yeah.
You can only take so much off. You can put on more layers. You can bundle up. You can do all of that.
And I'm still a sweaty person no matter what. So
well,
winters are my friend.
Guess what? Today is a good day for us to be in separate rooms then, Joe.
Right.
So, all right. What's another one you got?
How about, let's see, ride to the top of the arch in one of those 5-seater egg pods.
Which is terrifying, by the way. That's still scary.
Yes, with 4 North Atlantic crab fishermen fresh off the boat after a lengthy season.
Why are they in St. Louis? I need to know that.
Not just to ride up, but you got to ride back down with them too.
Okay. All right.
Or rollerblade through Forest Park, east to west at 2 a.m.
Oh, I'm rollerblading. Let me blade, baby. Let me get the blades on and let's go. Which is actually funny because we just had my daughter's 10th birthday party at Great Skate out in St. Peter's. And, you know, the kids get out there and they're going to skate and all that. Dude, I'm telling you, I thought about putting on skates and I'm like, that's all I need is to break my ankle at my 10-year-old daughter's birthday party. And I didn't get out there. And the moment that we got in the car to drive home, I was so bummed. I'm like, why didn't you get out there, you idiot? I love rollerblading. God, that sounds.
I've never.
Can I take that back? Hey, edit that in post real quick.
I'm gonna make that a drop.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Next time you're on the show, I love rollerblading.
Yeah, and I say that, and the last time I rollerbladed was 25 years ago. I used to love rollerblading, and I'm interested to see if I'd be able to even do it. But I remember my time working for the Blues, the times that they had me like go on the ice and do on ice stuff. I honestly was like, I got weak ankles. I'm going down, man. I'm going down here, and I'm going to be injured very, very, very soon.
I've never been an ice skater at all.
Joe, what about this one? Would you rather have to spend the night in a tent in the middle of Forest Park for an entire weekend, or spend the night without a tent in the middle of the grassy area that's right outside of Stiefel Theater for one night? So a full weekend in Forest Park, or one night right outside of Stiefel Theater, no tent.
I'm going to say a weekend in Forest Park, because I probably could find a pretty good spot to hide.
You can hide.
tent.
You can hide that tent out there and have nobody bother you. See, it's like I go back and forth on this one as well, because outside of Stiefel, there's at least still some like people around.
Right.
Might not be the best of people, you don't know, but you're at least going to get some traffic of people coming by. So I think that you'll be able to actually, be safe,
right?
Have a better chance of being safe, I guess you could say. Do you have any more on your list, Joe?
Okay. Let's see. Get locked in the fermentation room of Anheuser-Busch Brewery overnight.
That's a pungent.
Yes, surrounded by the overpowering stench of barley, yeast, and hops. Or attend the Soulard Market, hungover, forced to sample every vendor's spiciest hot sauce with no water to wash it down.
Ooh, I don't do spicy very well. I do not do spicy very well. So I'm going to say that I'm going to spend some time at AB, and I think that I could power through it as a guy that used to drink a lot, that no longers drink. I think I'm powering through it.
Well, then eventually you get nose blind, so it wouldn't last all night anyway,
that's true. Well, I like this. And if you guys have any that you guys would like us to talk about, again, we're doing some St. Louis Would You Rathers. Please feel free, hop into the chat room. Make sure that you give us a ring, 855-282-8255. We would love your input. Also, I'll put something up on the socials to where you guys can get involved. And if you guys have your own Would You Rather that involves St. Louis, we'd love to tackle that as well. Let's do some things. If you want to follow myself on socials, all you have to do is follow me at On Air TP. That's On Air TP. The only things I'm on is TikTok and X/Twitter. I don't do the Facebooks. I don't do the Instagrams. I just, to me, and in all reality, it's because I have a lot of people in my life that use Facebook to just yell into the void. And I don't need that, man. I don't need that. I don't want that. So like, that's not for me. I get some news from Twitter, and I like being creative and have fun on TikTok. So again, that's On Air TP on both of those. Real quick, I want to talk about some celebrities that are having birthdays today. I think that's pretty important, especially when you guys go into the office today. I know if you're anything like me, you want to talk to the people that are in your office, but you don't want to sound like a dope. So here you go. You could tell them that a fashion designer with probably the sexiest name in all of fashion designing, Vera Wang, is 76 years old today. Tobey Maguire, believe it or not actually Spider-Man, but the actor Tobey Maguire, he has a birthday today. He is 50, which again, if I look like Tobey Maguire looks when I am 50, I have done something correct. Also, reality star, TV super mega star, fashion mogul, Khloe Kardashian is 41 years old. 41 years old, which to me is absolutely outrageous because I can't believe that Khloe Kardashian is 41. And then writer, producer, director J.J. Abrams is 59 years old today. If you have anything that you guys would like us to cover today, this is the opportunity for you to reach out to us. Let us know what you want to talk about. I encourage you guys to go to luinfo.com. Not only can you stream the show live, so when you get to the office, you can punch us up and have us playing in the background, but also you can see different articles that are written. You can see the full list of shows. You can see everything that we're doing here at luinfo.com. And Joe, you can back me up on this. The thing that I love most about what we're doing with the Lou Information Station is that yes, we're on the radio, we're on 590, but this is a digital content-driven adventure. Content is king. And the way that content works is with the interaction and the help from you guys to hop on and to, participate in these Would You Rathers and things like that. And if you want us to talk about events, that is exactly what we want to do. And we want to make sure that we can do this. Greg says, speaking of birthdays, want to feel old? June Lockhart lost, you know who June Lockhart is, correct?
The name sounds really familiar. You're going to have to refresh.
So June Lockhart, she's a celebrity. She's been around in the world for a very long time. Almost would consider her to be like a socialite. Turned 100.
Holy.
Turned 100, which I can't believe that in 2025.
Oh, the Lost in Space.
Lost in Space. Yeah.
Okay.
Lost in Space. Sorry, I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, Greg, thank you. I appreciate that. So she turned 100 years old. And it's wild to me that if you see what 100 looks like in 2025 versus what 100 looks like in 1985, worlds of a different, brother.
Right.
Worlds different. Hey, after the break, I want to talk about this St. Louis alien list, okay? So we're going to touch on that right after the break, right here on Arch City Now. This is the Lou Information Station, online 24/7 at louinfo.com.
This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by J-Box, Noah's Ark, and Becky's Carpet and Tile Superstore.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody. It's our favorite song. Hey, Cardinal fans, hydrate like a champ. Head to the ballpark Saturday, July 12th as the Cardinals take on the Braves. That day, 20,000 fans 16 and older score a City Connect tumbler courtesy of Coca-Cola and Quick Trip. Stay cool and sip in style all summer long with this 30-ounce stainless steel tumbler. Don't miss out on this fan-favorite giveaway. Grab your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Nolan Gorman, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice-cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Scammers are disguising themselves as Ameren Solar salespeople to dupe St. Louis residents. That morning from Ameren, Missouri. Customers in St. Louis County have gotten calls and have been approached in person by people who are posing as Ameren workers. The fake workers have supposedly tried to get people to, quote, evaluate their homes for a made-up solar power project. The St. Louis County Pet Adoption Center is asking the public for help. A release stated Thursday that the county shelter responded to a cruelty case resulting in several large dogs being rescued, including 2 pregnant dogs, which were able to then give birth safely. In all, over 40 animals are new residents of the shelter. Fosters or adopters are needed as the shelter is at capacity of 210 animals. With the 4th of July almost here, St. Louis leaders are cautioning residents about fireworks. Officials say fireworks could pose danger this year, as many homes are still damaged and vulnerable due to recent storms. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Sandy Connor.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. Quick low pressure system moving through our area today. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible in the midday and afternoon hours. Mix of sun and clouds, we're going up to about 90. A few showers overnight and mid-70s. And then for Saturday and Sunday, we'll be getting scattered showers and thunderstorms. Our highs in the low 90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Looking to get organized and support local? At St. Louis Closet Company, we've been designing custom closets and storage solutions right here in St. Louis for over 30 years. From walk-in closets to home offices and even pantries. We create personalized, organized spaces that fit your lifestyle and your space. Built locally and installed professionally. Call 314-781-9000 for your free estimate or visit stlouisclosetco.com today.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
The Lou Information Station content can be found online at luinfo.com, on our Lou Info YouTube page, and you can find all our local shows on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search by name or find all the links at luinfo.com. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Welcome back to Arch City Now. My name is not Vic Faust. My name is Tony Patrico, filling in for Vic today while he is on vacation, joined by Pro Joe. As always, Joe, happy Friday, buddy.
Happy Friday, man.
God, it feels good to say that. This week has been one of those weeks where I'm like, it feels like 3 weeks kind of jammed into one. I just wanted to bring this up. I know if people are jumping on right now, people are popping into the YouTube chat, tuning into the radio on 590. They're probably going, hey, what the hell is going on? Because I know Vic normally does, a lot of news stories and what's happening around in the St. Louis area. Vic is a news guy. I'm not a news guy. That's not me. Totally different style. And Vic told me to come in and do me. So here's what we're doing today. This is how Friday's going to be today. We're just having a great time. I want to make sure, again, I said this before and I'll say it again. My mission is to do whatever I can today to make tomorrow all right. And hopefully you driving into work today, we're starting off your Friday, starting off your weekend with a really good time. Before we hop into this STL Alien Guide, and I'll explain what that is in a second. I just realized saying it out loud, how obnoxious that probably sounds.
Right.
A couple things on the birthdays. We were talking about celebrity birthdays before we went to break. Chandler Riggs has a birthday, 26 years old. Do you know who Chandler Riggs is?
Yeah, isn't he Carl from
He's the kid.
Walking Dead?
He's the kid from Walking Dead. And to think that Carl from Walking Dead is 26 years old is absolutely ridiculous. And then the other thing that I just found out during the break, we are talking about birthdays. The year was 1859. Mildred J. Hill, a school teacher from Kentucky, wrote "Happy Birthday to You."
Oh, wow.
So the birthday song is celebrating a birthday today. All I want to know is who's singing "Happy Birthday."
Right.
It's "Happy Birthday" song.
And if we play it, do they get?
I don't know
who gets the money.
I don't know, but Joe, we're not going to sing.
No,
that's not going to happen. No. This is different than when Vic's here, but it ain't that different. Okay,
I don't think Vic
it ain't
would
that
sing
different.
"Happy Birthday" either.
What's the deal? Greg says Vic would never wear plaid on camera.
Yeah,
he's a non-plaid guy.
No, he's more of the suit jacket.
Oh man, I can't do suit jacket. I think the suit jacket
or blazer.
I think the suit jacket that I do have is still from when I was a giant man. And I think I still wear it to funerals.
Well, you can still have it tailored.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they probably have to get out a table saw to help tailor that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big boy thing. So, okay. So real quick, to get into this STL alien list, the question that I posed yesterday on TikTok, which again, if you'd like to follow me on TikTok, at On Air TP, if aliens landed on Earth, or if we, as St. Louis said, we want to shoot something into space so that the aliens know and are made aware of what St. Louis is all about, what would have to be included in that rocket that shot to space, or, that we present to the aliens when they land here in St. Louis. And during the break, I feel like we nailed the very first thing that needs to be put on there. And Joe, what was that? Emos needs to go on that thing. Yeah. I think it does. For sure.
It's the first thing that most people think about when it comes to St. Louis is the pizza.
Is Vic joining us?
I think so, but he doesn't have a camera or anything.
Well, that's fine. If we could talk to him, if he wants to talk.
I don't know that he.
Okay, if you could get him to punch in and talk, I would love to do that.
Okay, we got an echo, so he's got some technical issues.
Okay, yeah. Once he gets it figured out, we'd love to have him on. I'd love to chat with him. Okay, Joe, what else is going on this STL alien guideline? I'm going to go over some of the things that I think need to go on there. Mm-hmm. And if you want to jump in, or if you have any you'd like to add, please do. I think that we need to tell aliens about the Mississippi River. And the reason being is they come down here, they're going to see the beautiful, mighty Mississippi, and they're going to go, oh man, look at this beautiful, powerful body of water. This is a great resource for us. Hold up, aliens. Don't be drinking that. Stand by. Be very cautious of the mighty Mississippi.
You might want to get a shot before you take a dip.
Also, we got to tell them that in a second, it could turn its head on you, and it could turn into a beautiful water, and then right in your face, it's coming for your house. I think we have to mention all of the St. Louis sports teams and the fact that this area is die hard for their sports teams. The Blues, the Cardinals, the Battlehawks, St. Louis City SC. And this, I almost forgot, Joe. I saw on social media yesterday, somebody shared a Reddit post. Oh. And if you are unfamiliar with Reddit is the cesspool of the internet. It is brutal. Sometimes you'll find some really good information. Most of the time, it's people that just love to hate everything.
And complain.
What this person shared was somebody said that it was completely trashy. It was completely trashy. I believe their exact phrase was trashy as hell. Okay. That we, as the folks of St. Louis, yell blues at the end of the Star Spangled Banner of the national anthem.
Ridiculous.
Now, I'm going to say something that probably won't put me in, the favor of a ton of people, but I don't love it.
Right.
I don't love it. I don't care. I'm not going to make a post online that makes, ranting and raving about it. I'm not going to do any of that, but I don't love it. I understand if you are from a different city, you come to town, you go to a Cardinals game, you go to a Blues game, you're there to support your favorite team. And during the national anthem, at the very end, instead of Home of the Brave, it's Home of the Blues. Now, once you find out that it's blues, it's a little bit more acceptable. People go, okay, I get it. But we do have to remember that to a lot of outsiders, it sounds like we're booing. And it does come off as us, I'm saying if you're not from St. Louis.
Outsiders, am I right?
Yeah. If you're not from St. Louis and you come to town to see a game, you may take it as booing the national anthem, booing the country, booing the national anthem singer. I think what this post was really trying to say is that it is super trashy for St. Louis people to be doing it and in general, which I don't think hella trashy, as this guy put it, is the way to do it, like to say that.
Now, let me ask, is this person from St. Louis?
That's also a great question.
So if they're not from St. Louis, sit the F down.
Yeah, yes, I agree. And again, and like Greg says, part of the experience, which I also agree. And I think, should we just keep it at Blues games? Or is it now such a St. Louis thing that...
I think right now the Blues are probably the shining star of the city because they were the last one to win a championship.
Yeah,
right?
Correct.
So, I mean, of course St. Louis is going to love this team. Of course they're going to, everything about the city of St. Louis is going to be the Blues for now until somebody else steps up and wins a championship.
Yeah. So, but my question is it okay to do this at a St. Louis City SC game?
Yeah, of course.
Because I saw one of the comments on this post said, I completely understand and accept it at a Blues game. We're at the home of the Blues. Cool. I get it. Why are we doing this at a City game? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Because hockey fans like soccer too.
Yep. I
Period.
agree. I agree. And somebody on that same post made another good point. You know, the boys from St. Louis City, they wear City red.
Yeah.
So why don't we start a new tradition? And during the anthem on Rockets Red Glare, we scream red. I mean, I think that's acceptable as well.
I mean, at some point, you're just going to change the words to the entire anthem.
Oh
though.
yeah, of course, yeah. And to think that this would ruin someone's experience coming to a
Right.
game. And listen, this is not the first time this has been brought up.
Right.
It won't be the last time that this is brought up. However, like, just enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
It's honestly less than 1 second of your
Mhm.
experience at the Blues game.
And if that ruins your experience, you're a pretty sufferable person.
Yeah, you don't enjoy TV, you
Right.
don't enjoy music, you
Yeah.
find everything wrong with everything. So
Mhm.
I think we need to put that in our little rocket ship that we send up to the
Yeah.
aliens. Hey, they're going to say Blues at the end of the anthem
Right.
here. We're not booing the country, so don't attack us.
And they're going to say anthem.
Yeah, right. Okay, so also on my list, I put a couple food items that I think if you're going to tell somebody,
Oh, yeah,
an
of
alien
course.
coming to the United States, they're landing in St. Louis, hey, what am I supposed to eat? I said toasted ravioli goes on my list.
Where from?
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot.
Uh-huh.
Do I say Antonio's? Do I say
Yeah. That's
Gito's?
fun.
I mean,
both of those are very good
I would
answers.
probably have to say Gito's, and just I know that's very like stereotypical.
Mhm.
Oh, what's your favorite Italian food in St. Louis, you Italian guy? Hey, Charlie Gito's. But no, I honestly think they can't be beat, man. I mean, I like the fact when God, if Eli back in the studio pulls anything, if you pull anything from this, I'm gonna knock you out, Joe. I like myself a big meaty toasted wrap. Okay, I do. I wanted a good crunch. I want a good meaty toasted Ravs,
Yeah.
and I think Gito's does that.
Oh yeah.
Like we already mentioned, St. Louis style pizza. And by the way, I always say the hate on emos
Mhm.
comes because it's overhyped by people from St. Louis to people that are traveling into town. It's overhyped.
Yeah.
It is way overhyped.
Yeah.
If you just say to people like, hey man, this is a different type of pizza.
Mhm.
This is a different type of experience.
It's
It's-
not going to be what you're expecting.
Yeah, it's not Pizza Hut. It's good, but it's definitely different. I
Right.
think tons of people. There's a comedian came to town. Oh, his name is blanking me right now.
Man, I know what you're talking about, and I can't.
And he
think
was
of
on the
it
show, and
now.
he talked about Emo's Pizza and said that he was told that it was the best,
Mhm.
and he went and tried it and was like, "This is not the best." And I said, "That's because you were overhyped. You were overhyped on Emo's Pizza. If I say to you, this is a really great pizza, but you got to make sure that you can actually put your guard down and really go after it. Really just accept the fact that Emo's is different and still delicious. I think you got to talk about some landscape areas in the St. Louis area when we're talking about this. Forest Park, you got to talk about the hill. Speaking of Gino's
yeah.
down there, I think you got to talk about the fact that the zoo is free. I mean, we may be directing them directly to their lunch. I don't know what aliens eat up there. But hopefully they don't eat, armadillos, because I'm pretty much directing them directly to that. I think we also got to talk about the music heritage here in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that Chuck Berry's from here, Michael
Mhm.
McDonald, all of that. And we'll
Yeah.
talk about concerts that are coming to town and things that you can do this weekend in a bit. I think we got to mention AB.
Mhm.
I think you also got to mention the fact that there's a city-county divide.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So, what about gooey butter cake from
Gooey
Schnucks?
butter cake is in. Gooey
Yeah.
butter cake, you got to send that up there for sure. And I think also we have to talk about the weather. You got to let them know that it's going to be -2 degrees, and 6 months later it's going to be 108.
Yep.
We got to let them know that as
Wear
well.
a parka and a raincoat.
Yep. Also, Lion's Choice, White Castles, which I agree with Lion's Choice. White Castles, not so much. That's now kind of gone national,
Right.
but Lion's Choice for sure. I agree. If you have something that you think we should put in this time capsule that we're shooting up to space for the aliens to learn about St. Louis, please reach out to us, luinfo.com. You can also make sure that you stream the show 24/7 online. All the shows right here on the Lou Information Station at luinfo.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Life,
The Lou Information Station, 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.
USA Radio News. I'm John Summers. President Trump touted his big, beautiful bill at an event yesterday meant to drum up support for it.
One of the most important pieces of legislation in the history of our country.
Trump was flanked by working Americans wearing the uniforms of their employers. Trump said the spending bill would benefit the middle-class Americans joining him. The Senate's hoping to start debate on President Trump's big, beautiful bill today, but there are new speed bumps.
The Senate parliamentarian, also known as the referee, rejected key Medicaid provisions in the bill. That means the measure is still being worked on, and several Republicans say they won't debate it until they see the final version. Majority Leader Republican John Thune plans on having the Senate work through the weekend if need be. The president expects the bill to be on his desk by the 4th of July. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Republican and Democrat senators exited an intel briefing Thursday on the Iran strikes with vastly different takeaways.
Tom Cotton of Arkansas says between the Israeli and U.S. strikes, Iran's nuclear ambitions were dealt a serious blow.
If you look at the whole span of what happened over 12 days, that's why we're confident that we have had an extraordinary success.
Cotton added the vital components within the chain for Iran to build a nuke were destroyed. Meanwhile, Connecticut's Chris Murphy says Iran's nuclear program has been damaged, but not obliterated, as President Trump maintains. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
The Department of Justice says Kilmar Abrego Garcia will be taken into ICE custody for deportation proceedings as soon as he's released from federal custody. This comes a day after a hearing in Nashville where a judge said Abrego Garcia would remain in federal custody at least through today for his human smuggling charges. He was deported to El Salvador earlier this year before being returned to the U.S. in what's become a flashpoint for President Trump's illegal immigration policies. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. You can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 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 855-SHARE-40.
The state of California.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel. A delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here. And when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family family, or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station presents Arch City Now with Vic Faust.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Arch City Now. My name is Tony Patrico, filling in for Vic Faust today. Vic is on vacation, much deserved, a little rest and relaxation. And I am joined by Pro Joe, as always. Joe, again, happy Friday, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Oh, God, it's great to know that today is Friday. I mean, I just, again, like I said, it's been one of those weeks where I feel like this has been a week on top of a week on top of a week.
Mm-hmm.
But very excited to be with you guys today. And in case you missed it, I did bring this up at the top of the show at the 6 o'clock hour, which, by the way, feel free, jump in the YouTube chat room, come and talk with us, come and contribute to the show. You can find us, again, on the YouTube chat. LouInfo.com is the website. That'll get you pretty much everywhere. You could also give us a call, 855-282-8255, and get involved in Arch City Now. Again, this show is about St. Louis, for St. Louis, with St. Louis. So we highly encourage you guys to punch in and participate. But for those of you just tuning in, maybe you know who I am, maybe you do not know who I am. My name is Tony Patrico. I've worked in the St. Louis radio scene for almost 20 years. Most of my time was spent on the rock station on the Point here in St. Louis as a member of the Riz Show. And once I lost my job with the Riz Show, I decided that there was a couple things I could do. I could go full scorched earth, and I could just really just hit the internets and, hey, this is ridiculous. Here's who I am and all that. I couldn't do that. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
That's not the style that I have. So I put my head down and I got to work.
Yeah.
I had a lot of work that I needed to do on myself. I had a lot of work that I needed to do, not only in my personal life, but in my, with my health.
Right. Yeah.
I was not living destructive, but I wasn't living the best.
Right.
I had that weight loss surgery and I was on the right path, but I still wasn't making the best decisions. And I put my head down and I worked on myself a lot. And anybody that wants to, punch on to the show or hit me up on social media and you want to come at me and you want to go after me and tell me how much you hate me, I get it. I respect that. I understand that. My mission, though, is to give you every reason I possibly can to second guess the way that you feel about me. And if I am successful in that, then you will see the results of all the hard work that I've done. If you decide after all of that, hey, this just still ain't for me, great. The world is a giant swimming pool and there is room for everybody to take laps.
Yeah.
So that's really it. I mean, that's what I want St. Louis to know, because this is a city I grew up in. This is a city I still live in. I absolutely love this place. And I just want to make sure that when I'm gone from this earth, I can at least have made some contribution in a positive way to the St. Louis area. And I think this is the start. This is how I start. So again, a big thank you to Vic for allowing me to come in. Joe, thank you so much for kind of helping out. And I know when I came in here, I was a little scatterbrained.
No,
and
man.
like we mentioned, it's riding a bike, baby. We're
Oh
riding a
yeah,
bike.
definitely. Thank you for being here, by the way.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. And for those of you that don't know, me and Projo go way back.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you that I have been in the St. Louis radio scene for almost 20 years. I've probably known Joe for 16 of those.
Yeah.
And hey, let's be honest. It's not like we talk every day.
Right.
I think when we texted 2 days ago, I think it was the first time I've texted you or heard from you in 4 years.
Right.
You know, but
It's been a minute.
we've had a lot of mutual connections. I know from the folks, you know, out in the tattoo shop in Troy.
As a matter of
you know,
fact, that's where I first met you. It was
Yeah.
at the 3rd Ink Spot Block
yeah, which
Party.
is crazy because that was a show that was held on like cinder blocks and plywood.
And
they-
Cavo played it.
Yeah, and they put Cavo on the stage there, which is absolutely crazy. Joe, you know, we both are in the music world. We both enjoy music. We both have done a whole bunch of stuff. I have some music questions that I would love for you to answer.
Oh boy.
Because on my show, which airs right here on the Lou Information Station, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 3 to 4 o'clock, and of course, streaming online, louinfo.com, we talk all things music, not just St. Louis music, but all things music. Okay.
Right.
So here's the question I have for you. What is the best? And before anybody in a local band comes at Joe or myself for not mentioning them, what is the best St. Louis local band to come out of the area?
You're gonna do me
And
like that?
No. Listen, I'm not talking about your personal opinion.
Right.
I'm saying if you would ask somebody from
Okay.
Omaha, Nebraska,
Yeah.
who is the best
That's an easy
St.
one.
Louis band / artist to come out of St. Louis, who would you say?
I'm gonna have to say The Urge.
Okay.
I mean, that's the most notable or known that I can think of.
Do we add Nelly to this conversation?
Yeah, I mean, Nelly.
Or are we talking about bands specifically?
Well, I mean, that's a question for you. Actually, you're the one asking.
Well,
the
okay,
question.
all right. Let's not include Nelly. Let's talk about
Okay.
bands.
All right.
I want to talk about bands. Your pick is The Urge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, there is a lot that we could run through.
Oh, yeah.
I
I'm talking more like current, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so am I. That's kind of where my brain goes to. And of course, you know, us both being in the rock world, but like
Right.
Mark in the chat room here says story of the year.
Yeah,
I think
for
that's
sure.
that's a definite band that goes on
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I think you got to add Cavo to that list.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, I think you put Nathaniel Rateliff, even though he's from Herman. I think he's still from the St. Louis area.
No idea who that is.
Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. They sing that song SOB. You know who that is. You know who that is. I promise
If I heard
you
the
do.
song, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's got a lot of like, hey,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
almost like a gospel feel. Oh God, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
St. Louis. That was
No.
awful. I'm really sorry that.
You described it very well.
Thank you. Greek Fire, I think, goes on that list. Gravity Kills, I think, goes on that
Yes.
list.
Yep.
Greg
definitely.
says local bands or recording artists. Either, buddy. Let's talk either. I'm down with whoever you want. I think that you talk about bands. I think you do have to mention some older bands too. Like I think Michael McDonald gets included on
Oh,
this
yeah.
list. Do you talk about somebody like the Bottle Rockets?
Right.
You know, very influential. I think Chuck Berry gets mentioned. I would be remiss if I do not add this to that list is Bob Cuban and the Inman. Bob Cuban and the Inman. The song is The Cheater. You know the song. God rest his soul. That was my dad, Paul Patrico's all-time favorite song, still is. And the fact that we got Bob Cuban band to play at a Point Fest one time was pretty ridiculous.
Nice.
The fact that he was up on stage and rocking and rolling with that. So
Well, you know, there's oh my God, I forgot. He was one of the founding members of REO Speedwagon. Oh my God.
one of the is he from St. Louis?
Yes. And Steve Scorfina.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right. Yep.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay. Another one, Dr. Gervais.
Yeah.
I think even though like Dr. Gervais isn't like putting out albums,
Right.
you know, I think that's definitely mentioned in this conversation.
Well, they're a cover band, right?
Yeah.
So then if we're going in cover band territory, then you got to mention.
You're looking at me? The
Yeah.
Teenage Dirtbags?
Well, okay.
Who else?
The
Why are you
Pink Floyd,
snapping at me?
Pink Floyd cover. I can't remember their name right now.
The Pink Floyd cover band.
The
You're talking
huge,
about
they
like,
sell out.
oh,
It's a tribute band.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
Joe, why am
right?
I doing El Monstero?
Yes, thank
Oh,
you. Holy cow.
I mean, my head almost just hit the ground there. And Boone in the chat room says, Chuck Berry isn't a band. I agree. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
I broke my own rules there. Forgive me. But I think if we're sending like a musical playlist up to those aliens, by the way, before the break, we were talking about sending the aliens hey, here's how to know St. Louis. If they were perhaps landing here in St. Louis, what would they need to know about the St. Louis area? That is what we talked about. Can you imagine just turning into Arch City now and you see this guy who is not Vic Faust, who is not wearing a blazer, and you hear him talking about bands, which he can't remember the names of, and then start going right into aliens. You go, what happened to Arch City now? But yes, I think that is definitely the musical playlist that we've got to send up there.
Yeah.
Anything that I missed on this list before we hit the 3, 2, 1 launch button and send it on up there?
Well, Greg wants to point out Platinum Rock Legends.
Platinum Rock Legends is one of, okay, again, you want to go see a cover/tribute band, which, by the way, what differs the two? Is a cover band a band that plays all songs and a tribute band only plays?
Yes.
That's okay. All right. Okay. Because I wasn't sure if because I know that there's some tribute bands that play like, we're a tribute band that plays Red Hot Chili Peppers and Blink-182.
Well, then they're playing two different. Well, I mean, so they're still true. Oh, that's
See, it's weird.
It's
weird.
Like you're getting on shaky ground.
I don't like shaky ground. I told you I got weak ankles. I don't want to do this.
But yeah, with Platinum Rock Legends, Eric Johnson's a good friend of the show. He's the bassist.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, Platinum Rock Legends is great. I know, like, Legends is what popped this. Legends Undercover, they're great as well. I know El Scorcho. I mean, you would talk about having fun.
Yeah.
I mentioned them on the Sounds of STL the other day. I said, they're playing a free show in Newtown.
They do that often.
Go,
Yeah.
because that band is absolutely incredible. And you
Yes.
want to have a great time while enjoying some live music. El Scorcho is the way to go. Somebody hit me up on socials. You can hit me up on X, at On Air TP. And they said, you said city county divide. City county divide. There's a city county divide? How? I don't understand that. It's the county, and that's it. Come on. We all know that, like, beyond Forest Park, there's a bunch of other places that you could go, including like Tower Grove Park, Lafayette Park. There's so many different things, and the county is full of them, but so is the city. I mean, Forest Park is right there, man. And I have attended a bunch of events at Forest Park. For the first time in a very long time, and I would say this was probably a year and a half ago, I had some time to kill between meetings. I had about 45 minutes, and I was right by Forest Park. And I was like, what do I do? And I did the typical thing. I'm going to go get lunch. I'm going to go park somewhere in Forest Park, and I'm going to eat my lunch, and I'm just going to sit there and have a good time.
You should have got your lunch and went and rented a paddle boat.
No. And I ate my lunch, and I was sitting there, and I was like, okay, I got about 20 minutes before I have to get back on the road. And I decided I was just going to walk around Forest Park. You don't realize how deep you can get into Forest Park.
Oh, yeah.
I was 36 minutes late for my meeting, Joe.
Yeah.
Because I got so far from my car and I forgot how to get back there. I made one left turn. Next thing I know, I'm in Waterloo, Illinois. I'm like, I don't even know how did Forest Park trails get to Waterloo, Illinois?
Right.
But eventually, but my point in all of this is, like, Forest Park is huge.
Yeah, it's actually doing research for the show. I found out that the Forest Park is larger than the park in New York.
Central Park?
Central Park.
What?
It is larger than Central Park. Yeah.
That's insane to think. But also at the same time, Central Park looks huge because it's crammed into New York City.
Right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
it looks like this giant
Right.
park, but if you put a tiny patch of green
Mhm.
and surround it with a major city,
Right.
it's going to look huge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I've actually heard that before, that Forest Park is like one of the biggest parks that's available. And don't forget, Forest Park is free. So that's
Right.
something that's pretty impressive too. You don't have to pay to get in and do
Right.
things around there. You can, and a lot of the things inside of Forest Park are also free, which is awesome as well. They also have a great golf course there. For, like,
Oh, yeah.
if you are an amateur golfer like myself,
Right.
where a win for me is losing 8 golf balls in a round.
I've never lost a ball. I haven't played that much though.
I was going to say, I was about to pass out if you claim to me that you have never, ever.
I've played
lost
golf a
ball.
handful of times, but I've never lost a ball.
I mean, I'm dead serious. Every time I play golf, if I lose less than 10 golf balls, it's a miracle. But at the same time, I'm terrible at golf. But what I like to do is go outside and hang out with my friends. You know, and that to me, I'm the guy that you ask me to go play golf with you if you want to make sure that somebody's going to bring a speaker and somebody's going to make sure we're having a good time. Because even when guys, like I went golfing a couple months ago with one of my friends, he hit the ball directly into the woods. He is a very good golfer, very good golfer. And he hit it directly into the woods. I could see on his face, we were moments away from, this is no longer fun for me. And I said to him, and I go, you can't hit it in there. Just like that. You can't hit it in there. And it broke the tension. And I'm like, that's why I'm here. I'm here to like take off. This is not the PGA Tour. You're playing with Tony Patrico, who is terrible golfer, but he's having a great time. Greg has a question about us talking about the city-county divide. Why do people say they're from North County, South County, and West County, but not East County? That's a great point.
I guess it's kind of...
Where would East County be? Is East County...
East County is the city, downtown.
Yes.
So that's East County.
I guess so. So
you would
East County doesn't exist. It's just a city.
Just downtown. Yeah.
I'm going to start saying that I work in East County just to see what people say. Hey, where do you work? Oh, I work at Eyesight Media. Oh, is your office, you work from home? No, I work in East County. East County does sound kind of legit, though, kind of professional.
They're going to think you're over in Illinois.
Yeah, that is very true. One thing that I want to do is when we get back from the break here, I want to talk about events that people can go to, that they can hit up and they can make sure that they, you know, take the family to, free events, concerts, things that are going to be in town this weekend. Maybe an opportunity for you to even stay cool. We will do that right here on Arch City Now on the Lou Information Station, online and on demand 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Unfiltered conversations, real people, real stories, real impact. Tune in each Tuesday morning at 10 for Elevate and Lead, hosted by Grit founder Jennifer Bartow with Michael and Kelly Chandler.
Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill has a new menu. But don't freak out. Hot Shots favorites are still there, like their famous wings, tacos, burgers, and pizzas. Plus, sure to be new faves like Big Philly egg rolls, the Bold and Hearty Slugger sandwich, the Buffalo chicken pizza, and 2 new wing sauces, Carolina Gold and Bourbon Glaze. And making a comeback, it's the return of Hot Shots' legendary waffle fries. So now there's even more to love at Hot Shots. Come try out the new menu at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Find the location nearest you at hotshotsnet.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City. 314-344-4400.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Scammers are disguising themselves as Ameren Solar salespeople to dupe St. Louis residents. That morning from Ameren, Missouri. Customers in St. Louis County have gotten calls and have been approached in person by people who are posing as Ameren workers. The fake workers have supposedly tried to get people to, quote, evaluate their homes for a made-up solar power project. The St. Louis County Pet Adoption Center is asking the public for help. A release stated Thursday that the county shelter responded to a cruelty case resulting in several large dogs being rescued, including 2 pregnant dogs, which were able to then give birth safely. In all, over 40 animals are new residents of the shelter. Fosters or adopters are needed as the shelter is at capacity of 210 animals. With the 4th of July almost here, St. Louis leaders are cautioning residents about fireworks. Officials say fireworks could pose danger this year, as many homes are still damaged and vulnerable due to recent storms. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com, I'm Sandy Connor.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. Quick low pressure system moving through our area today. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible in the midday and afternoon hours. Mix of sun and clouds, we're going up to about 90. A few showers overnight and mid 70s. And then for Saturday and Sunday, we'll be getting scattered showers and thunderstorms. Our highs in the low 90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at LouInfo.com.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. That's 800-298-0306.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station. Yeah, we're a talk station, but not your daddy or granddaddy or great-granddaddy's talk station. We're the new kids on the block. No, not those new kids, just regular new kids. Anyway, the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 online at LouInfo.com. And we actually know what all of that means. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at LouInfo.com.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Yes, this is Arch City Now, but I am not Vic Faust. I'm Tony Patrico, filling in for Vic today, and I'm having a great time. And Joe, I appreciate you being so welcoming, man. It's been a lot of fun.
I'm having a great time too.
Well,
man,
thanks, man. Again, my mission today is to start your weekend off right. You know, that's what I want to do. I know that when Vic is on, he comes from the world of TV news.
Mhm.
You know, he comes from the news side of things. I come from the pop culture side of things. So our style is going to be a little bit different. And I really, really, really appreciate everybody hopping online at LouInfo.com, jumping in on the YouTube channel. Again, you can call the show. You can participate that way as well. 855-282-8255. Or again, get involved in the socials as well. You can find the station at Lou Info. Also find us at Arch City Now. And you can even email the show as well. I know if you're in the YouTube chat, you can see the info right there. archcitynow@gmail.com. Speaking of Vic coming from the news side of things, we are pretty much smack dab in the middle of 2025. I mean,
it's hard to believe.
It's insane. I feel like this year has gone by faster than a lot of the previous years. But if you had to pick the top news story of 2025 so far in the St. Louis area, what do you think that is? I think I have a pretty clear-cut answer. I think that if we had to kind of wrap it up with a bow, you would have to say the extreme St. Louis weather.
Yeah.
Because I know we are, 6 months now away from the first of the year, almost a full 7. But I think a lot of people forgot about the ice and the snowstorms that happened at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So we were off for the holiday break at my full-time job, and I did not go back into the office until like the 9th.
And the roads got really bad. It was like
really bad.
It was like when they pre-treated, or it was so cold it didn't help.
Well, I remember seeing some local St. Louis politicians talking about how downtown there were roads that had like 12 inches of ice for days.
Wow.
For 10 days.
Have to get out there with a jackhammer.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is crazy. I think that's a huge story. I think we have to talk about that. I think we have to talk about the devastating tornado that just happened in May and earlier this month as well. You know, the recovery efforts are still ongoing, and the fact that we've got people in town, and you aren't going to see these things on the news. I'm just telling you right now, it's not what you're going to see. But there are countless people in the St. Louis area who are taking time out of their already jam-packed days that are going to the affected areas and helping with cleanup.
That's awesome.
That are helping, remove rubble, that are helping these people. Because the craziest thing, and what a lot of people forget to realize, is that, and again, you can shift the blame on whoever you want, whether it be the sirens, whether it be the people themselves. But like a lot of these folks, these homes are not insured. And when they lost their home and you hear, oh, they lost everything, now they've got to rebuild. No, for a lot of these folks, they've lost everything and now there's nothing. And they are literally starting from scratch. So the way that I have seen the St. Louis community come together, because I'm not speaking out of turn here, and I'm not saying anything that people don't know, but it's very easy to forget that there are residents in North City where this tornado ripped through.
Yeah.
You think of North City and you go, oh, it's a lot of abandoned buildings. There's some industrial down there. But there are people that make this their home. Like this is where they've lived for years. And a lot of people look at homes being damaged and forget about that there's families inside of those homes, some with young kids, some with elderly folks that are in there. So to see St. Louis come together, and like, especially like folks like the Urban League, and I know they've got an event this weekend at the Fox. It's at the Fox, right? The Fabulous Fox.
I think so.
Yeah, and the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra is going to be there. And I love that they're doing events like this. And guess how much that event costs to attend?
$25.
It's donate what you wish.
Oh, well, there you go.
So if you got $5
That's
in your
awesome.
pocket and you want to go see some amazing music, some live music at a beautiful venue like the Fox, you could do so for a $5 donation. If you want to go down there and donate $500, you could do that as well.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's a really cool opportunity. And again, if you want to follow me on the socials at On Air TP, I'll put up some information about that. I also am going to make sure that I put up all of the shows that we're going to talk about here in a second, because I do want to make sure I let you guys know what's happening in the St. Louis area this weekend for free, and some shows that are, some national acts that are coming to town. Greg says the city police and the sheriff's office drama. I think that's definitely a huge story that, we would say is one of the top news stories here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I think you also have to talk about, the beginning of this year, they were talking about historically low crime rates in the St. Louis area, which is something to celebrate.
That is.
That is something to definitely make sure that we celebrate. And then, of course, I think you have to mention, the St. Louis sports. You have, the Cardinals, who everybody thought was going to be terrible because the team pretty much came out and said, we're not going to do much to be better. We're not going to make many moves to be better. Oh, by the way, we're also going to increase ticket prices on you as well. So it was going back then to see where we are now with the Cardinals is a completely different animal, because back then we wanted nothing to do with the Cardinals.
Right.
There were people that were saying, well, I guess my team's the Royals. No, not anymore. People are all about the Cardinals, even though back-to-back shutout losses to the Cubbies, which hurt, but we split the series, which is nice. And I was not a big fan of Wilson Contreras when he joined the team, but now, and watching him, and I don't know if you saw any clips from the game yesterday, the pitcher, strike out, okay, game's over. He starts jawing at Contreras because Contreras has had some very interesting things to say about the Cards and the Cubs. So to see, the fire is nice.
Right.
That's what I feel like about the 2019 St. Louis Blues Stanley Cup team.
Oh, yeah.
And especially working for the team. And by the way, I will toot my own horn. I do have a Stanley Cup ring.
Oh, nice.
Being a member of the staff,
Really?
I got a ring. Yep.
Dude.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. And being able to DJ underneath the St. Louis Arch in front of 500,000 people.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I mean, I that's an experience I will never. I put that at least in the top 3.
What was that after the parade?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dude, I DJ'd underneath the arch from 9 a.m. until about 6 p.m. And
wow.
it was amazing because it didn't matter. I could have played show tunes.
Right.
I could have played accordion music. I could have played the bagpipes.
Yeah. Everybody
were
was
there.
having a good time.
People were there,
period.
man.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite stories from that is, and I don't know if you know the rule about like the Stanley Cup and the sacredness of the Stanley Cup.
Mhm.
So if somebody would bring the Stanley Cup in here today,
Mhm.
okay, you are able to touch it. You could do whatever you want.
Right.
You can't lift it.
Mm.
You have to have somebody, a player or a coach, lift it with you. Okay.
Don't they have 2 separate cups? One that they actually tour with, and one that's actually,
Yes.
yeah.
But so you can't.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're right. I mean, you're right. It is. They listen. Smoke and mirrors.
Right.
Smoke and mirrors. So okay, they bring the cup. Okay, perfect example. I'll just put you in the scenario. I'm on the stage. The event is concluding. The Blues players are hanging out, taking some selfies, saying hi to fans.
Mhm.
And I see some people starting to take pictures with the cup. Joel Edmondson is right there, former St. Louis Blue defenseman.
Met him.
He is there, and he'll hold the top of the cup. You put your hand on the bottom, hold it up.
Right.
So people are doing that, and I'm like, oh, this is my opportunity. I have to do it. So I go to Joel Edmondson. I say, hey man, will you take a picture of me holding up the cup? Will you take that picture with me? He puts the cup in my chest, and he says, you hold the effer up.
Nice.
Now, if a player hands you the cup, you are allowed to lift it.
Wow.
So, dude, I have the coolest pictures of me lifting the cup on stage with the backdrop of 500,000 people behind me.
Wow.
Coolest experience ever.
That is bad.
But we just took a long route to get to where I was going. The 2019 Stanley Cup Blues team, that's what this Cardinals team reminds me of. You've got your stars. You've got the players that are going to perform. You've got your dark horses that out of nowhere, you're like, how is this happening? This is insane. And you really, truly could see the fight in this team. And I think St. Louis gets behind that. They get behind the gritty teams, the teams that have to work for things.
They don't call them the comeback Cardinals for nothing.
You're 100% right there. Also, St. Louis City, I mean, the fact that they have had 4 coaches in 2.5 years is pretty crazy. Everybody was very excited when Olaf came in. Everybody was very happy when Olaf was sent packing. Now, do we get behind Critchley and are we all about it? I don't know. Giving up 2 goals in 10 minutes in a soccer match is not very good. But I will say this. I'm a season ticket holder for St. Louis City SC, and I don't care if they lose 5-0. I love going to games, man. The atmosphere there is great. If you let yourself get kind of immersed in the supporter section, it's awesome. You a fan of soccer? I'm looking at your face and I'm saying no.
I haven't been to a soccer game since the Checker Dome and the Steelers.
Oh boy, yeah, that's been quite some time, Joe. The game's changed a little bit. The game has changed a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I think I tell everybody, I'm like, even if you're not a fan of soccer, I think you should go to at least one game. Get the experience, because
I have been.
The production that the team puts on is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Like the way that they do things at Energizer Park is done really well. And plus, I think that this is one of the teams that really did something awesome. You know, with you, because they could have said, we got an MLS team. It's going to be called St. Louis City SC. Buy your tickets now. But they really brought the fans in on stuff. And I really enjoy that. And I love the fact that you can't go to, Concession Mart 1 and get a hot dog. It's all local restaurants.
Oh, yeah. Steve's Dogs is in there, too.
You're damn right. Steve's
Yeah.
Dogs is in there.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Olive and Oak. Give me that cheeseburger almost every day. Greg wants to know, with my Stanley Cup ring, did I get the lighted wood case with the ring? I did.
Wow.
And it's awesome. It's really cool. I'll post a picture on the socials so you guys can check that out. I also think that, we do have to talk about the Blues and their season, I mean, heartbreaking double overtime loss in Game 7 to the Jets. It really was a season that had very similar vibes to 2019.
Yeah.
It had that they counted us out, but here we are. And you can't tell me that the Blues aren't going to be at least involved in the postseason, or at least be in the conversation come playoff time, because that's what we do as the St. Louis Blues.
You know why we didn't win?
Why didn't we win?
Because Gloria wasn't a part of it.
Yes. Okay. Listen, love-hate relationship with Gloria. In 2019 and 2020, I could have listened to Gloria on repeat 24/7. In 2025, I love you, Gloria. I love you. Joe, I do want to get to some of these events. I know we got to get to a break here soon.
Yeah.
So let's talk about today. Let's talk about what you can do today in St. Louis. So if you are looking for something to do with your family, you want to hang out with your buddies, you want to plan a girls' night, here are some options for you to get out and about in the St. Louis area. Tonight, a show at Stiefel Theater, where if I did not have my kids tonight, this is where I would be. Chicago is in town.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a big fan of the city, but I'm a huge fan of the band. Do you like the band Chicago?
I do like the
What's
band
your favorite Chicago song?
Saturday in the Park.
Okay, great song.
It's actually my parents' favorite. Like, it's their song.
You were blessed with that song. That's a legacy. That's a legacy song. I love that. So for me, it's a song that is not one of their hits.
Right.
It's "Stay the Night."
Oh.
Which came out in like the 80s, mid 80s, which it's very synth pop. It's not very Chicago, but watch the music video. If you have 3 minutes today, watch the music video, because it is one of the best 80s music videos that you will ever see. I promise you that. So Stay the Night. Chicago in town at the Stiefel Theater. That show gets started around 8 o'clock. Joe, fan of country music, yeah or nay?
Not so much.
Well, The Factory has a duo of country shows today. It's all one show, but two artists, Justin Moore and Joe Nichols. I did not know. I'm not familiar with either of these artists. I like some old country, give me some Joe Diffie. I'm all about it, but new pop country, not really for me. And here's the thing that I absolutely love is that I asked my fiance, I said, do you know either Justin Moore or Joe Nichols? And she went, oh, you know Joe Nichols. I said, who's Joe Nichols? Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off.
Oh, okay.
You know that song.
Yeah.
You know that song.
It's one of those things. The country's like that. I know the song. I don't know who sings it.
Yeah, because guess what? The reason that we know that the band Chicago sings Stay the Night is because it's a unique band name, Chicago. Okay, I got it. That's a band name.
Yeah.
But you just say your first and last name. I don't know. Is he an actor? Is he does he play left field for the Orioles? I don't know.
Right.
There's also a rock band, the Driver Era, happening St. Louis Music Park tonight. And I think this is really cool. Pops is doing something that is a tribute to country bands. Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, and Zach Bryan band will be there. So we'll cover Saturday. We'll cover Sunday. We'll talk more music stuff right after the break here on Arch City Now on the Lou Information Station, online and on demand 24/7 at louinfo.com.
This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by Noggles, Tilt Arcade in Northwest Plaza, and the St. Louis Swarm.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody. It's our favorite song.
This is former Cardinal and Navy Lieutenant Mitch Harris. Salute those who serve. Join the Cardinals on Friday, July 11th for Military Appreciation Night, presented by Boeing. With a special themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Cardinals 40-ounce tumbler, honoring all 6 military branches. Arrive early for a powerful pregame concert by the U.S. Air Force Band on the Budweiser stage. And best of all, a portion of each ticket benefits USO Missouri. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/thing. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice-cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Scammers are disguising themselves as Ameren Solar salespeople to dupe St. Louis residents. That morning from Ameren, Missouri. Customers in St. Louis County have gotten calls and have been approached in person by people who are posing as Ameren workers. The fake workers have supposedly tried to get people to, quote, evaluate their homes for a made-up solar power project. The St. Louis County Pet Adoption Center is asking the public for help. A release stated Thursday that the county shelter responded to a cruelty case resulting in several large dogs being rescued, including 2 pregnant dogs, which were able to then give birth safely. In all, over 40 animals are new residents of the shelter. Fosters or adopters are needed as the shelter is at capacity of 210 animals. With the 4th of July almost here, St. Louis leaders are cautioning residents about fireworks. Officials say fireworks could pose danger this year as many homes are still damaged and vulnerable due to recent storms. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Sandy Connor.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. Quick low pressure system moving through our area today. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible in the midday and afternoon hours. Mix of sun and clouds, we're going up to about 90. A few showers overnight and mid-70s. And then for Saturday and Sunday, we'll be getting scattered showers and thunderstorms. Our highs in the low 90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Looking to get organized and support local? At St. Louis Closet Company, we've been designing custom closets and storage solutions right here in St. Louis for over 30 years. From walk-in closets to home offices and even pantries, we create personalized, organized spaces that fit your lifestyle and your space. Built locally and installed professionally. Call 314-781-9000 for your free estimate or visit stlouisclosetco.com today.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
590 AM, just like any other St. Louisan. We may go away, but we always come back. The Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. Get your content when you want it, how you want it. louinfo.com. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Welcome back to Arch City Now. My name is Tony Patrico, filling in for Vic Faust. First things first, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody in the chat room, everybody that has reached out on social media. Thank you guys for welcoming me back into the St. Louis radio world. In case you missed it, we've talked about it multiple times, but I am honored to be able to sit here today to fill in for Vic, who will be back on Monday, correct?
Yes.
So I feel honored to sit in today. I hope that I have started your Friday off right. The only thing I wanted to do was not start your Friday off terrible. And I don't think I've done anything to make you have a bad Friday. So
no, absolutely.
Greg in the chat room, I want to say thank you very much for you participating all day long. You've been absolutely incredible. He does have we were talking about the band Chicago, who's in town tonight at Stiefel Theater. He does have a question. Joe, what's your favorite version of 25 or 6-4? Is it the old one or the new one?
Now that I don't know the difference.
Oh, it's old. It's
you.
old. For me, it's old. It has to be because I'm a big guy on the original. I enjoy covers. I enjoy remasters. I enjoy when a band completely reimagines a song, but I like the originals because they were popular for a reason.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think it was actually Greg who was talking about requels earlier, redoing things. And I don't hate it. I mean, I understand why people do it. But I'm a big fan of the originals, of the OGs. So for me, it definitely would have to be the old version of 25 or 6-4. There's some other events that are happening today that are not paid events. Like you don't have to have a ticket to get in. Food Truck Friday at Tower Grove Park, all powered by Sauce Magazine. Go see Food Truck Road. There's live entertainment there as well. So you can go.
Music, you can't beat it.
Bring your family and head on down to Tower Grove Park. Also, Summer Campfire Nights in Brookdale Farms at Eureka. That happens from 6 to 10. And the cool thing about that is they have like reserved fire pits too. So like you and a group of your friends could get some fire pits and just hang out and watch some live music. Also, the Mississippi River Festival happens tonight at Alton Amphitheater. And don't forget about Summer Nights, which I don't know if you've heard about Summer Nights at Grant's Farm.
No.
So Summer Nights at Grant's Farm is a drone show spectacular.
Oh, wow.
They're doing it today and tomorrow, and you can check that out. The event starts at 5:30. Obviously, they'll probably get the drones up there as soon as nightfall hits. Tomorrow, more concerts, more events for you to check out. Don't forget the St. Louis Pride Fest is happening downtown. That happens from 11 until 7. Tons of different events going on throughout the city. You could go to the website to get more information on that. Also, big happenings at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. And this show went under my radar. It's the Outlaw Music Festival. And the Outlaw Music Festival is Willie Nelson.
Oh, wow.
Bob Dylan.
What?
And Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats.
Holy cow.
So it's a huge show. It starts at 4:00, and everything that I've seen has been absolutely incredible about this show that's been touring. Like it's wild. Also, citywide block party happening at Four Hands Brewing. That happens at 2:00. And don't forget about the Soulard Island Bash at Molly's, which that sounds like a great time. That starts at noon. As far as shows, Terrapin Flyer, do you know who that is? It's a Grateful Dead tribute band.
Oh, okay.
They are at Atomic by JMO at 8:00. I just wanted to include this just because I think it's one of the greatest DJ names in history at Rise Nightclub tomorrow night at 10:00, which I will probably be in bed. San Holo.
Oh, that I actually know that.
San Holo will be at Rise Nightclub at 10 p.m. on Saturday.
My favorite song by him is called "Okay."
I'll have to listen to that on the way out of here. Do you know who Sean Kanan is?
No.
So Sean Kanan and the Voodoo Players. I've known Sean for a very long time. He used to be in a band called the Hypnics. I mean, you want to talk about grassroots. You want to talk about bluesy. You want to talk about a dude that can sing. Sean Kanan can bring it. And they're actually going to be doing Grateful Dead covers today as well. Also, Dirty Mugs is going to be at Westport Social. That's 100% free. If you have not been to a party on the plaza, you got to check that out because it is really cool. And at Blueberry Hill, the band A Sky Full of Stars, which is a Coldplay tribute band, will be playing as well. Do you know the podcast, The Basement Yard? These are two guys that have really exploded over the past year.
It sounds really familiar.
Two guys from Jersey that do this podcast. It has no format. They just talk and make fun of each other.
It's the best kind of podcast.
Dude, it is incredible. And they actually are doing a live show at the Factory tomorrow at 8:00. So you can check that out. And comedian Chris D'Elia, who has been on TV shows, giant national touring comedian. He's got a show at Helium Comedy Club tomorrow, 7 and 9:30. As far as Sunday is concerned, again, these are your events that you could check out around the St. Louis area. The Grand Pride Parade happens downtown. The parade starts at noon, but festivities go from 11 until 6. Also, another really cool event that's happening this weekend, City 2 has a game on Saturday at Energizer Park against Houston that you could check out. Almost Warped Tour at 9 Mile Garden. Okay. Have you heard what this is?
No.
These are all tribute bands.
Almost Warped Tour.
These are all tribute bands covering bands that made it big while playing Warped Tour. Blink-182, Sum 41, Newfound Glory, My Chemical Romance. It goes from 12 until 9 o'clock at night.
It's a great concept.
It's a fantastic concept. I mean, I think it's a touring concept as well. So it comes to St. Louis, 9 Mile Garden in Afton. And again, if you haven't been to 9 Mile Garden, another great place to take your kids because you can go there and you can take advantage of the food options they have. They have great drink options and stuff to do for everybody. I love it because I get to go and just let my kids run around like maniacs. They just run around like maniacs. And like I treat 9 Mile Garden as my babysitter. That is my babysitter. I get a moment to myself, and my kids can run around and have a great time. If you're looking for something to do with the kids, speaking of that, All Aboard the Wabash, Frisco, and Pacific Railroad show is happening. That's at 11 a.m. on Sunday. Ready Go Dog Show at the City Museum is at noon, and I think that's cool. And there's also at the Butterfly House in Faust Park, Bugs Rock, where they can learn about bugs. The only other thing I want to talk to you about happening in the St. Louis area, Joe, did you know that they do laser light shows at the Science Center?
Yes.
Do you know that they do them set to music?
Yes.
I had no idea they did
Namely
this.
Pink Floyd sometimes.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
I saw on there they did 90s alternative where it was like Pearl Jam, Candlebox, Soundgarden, all that. Joe, I want to go that.
Yeah.
I want me and you to go.
Okay.
We can hang out in the parking lot for 15 to 20 minutes. Just hanging out. Let's just put it that way. We'll just be hanging out.
Yeah.
And then I want to go in there and I want to check out some of these shows.
Absolutely.
I think it would be absolutely fantastic. I think it would be great. So again, if you're just tuning in and you're wondering where Vic is, he's on vacation. He's coming back next week. Today, we have covered so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I brought so many papers here, and I think we've covered absolutely everything.
It flew by.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do, and Joe, I'll send this to you, and we'll have this put up on the website.
Mhm.
I'll make sure it gets up on luinfo.com. But I'm going to put this full list of events.
Show notes.
Yeah, this full list of events will go up there. So you can, again, take your family or plan a boys' night or a girls' night out, and you can find something to do. Also, I'm going to put our St. Louis list on there too.
Okay.
Things that we would be making sure that the aliens are aware when they come to town. Hey, they want to know everything about St. Louis. That's exactly the list that they need. I think it's a very solid list. And I encourage you guys to check out the list at luinfo.com and then reach back out to us and let us know what we missed, what we can add to this list. And of course, I encourage everybody to tune in to the Sounds of St. Louis, which happens every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That show is my show that I host with my fiance, Mary Beth. We talk about everything music, everything in the St. Louis music scene, from local bands, up and coming artists, to local shows, to national shows that are coming to town, to the local bands that are making it big on the national stage. We talk about everything St. Louis music. And I have constantly said that what I want to do is I want to create St. Louis's playlist, one song, one concert, and one band at a time. That's what I want to do. And with your help, with the help of St. Louis, we have been able to do that. We've created a playlist, and the playlist lives on Spotify right now. And Joe, maybe you can help me with this. You're pretty technologically sound.
Mhm.
I don't know Apple Music. I'm not an Apple Music guy. I'm trying to get this playlist on Apple Music without being an Apple Music guy.
Right.
I don't know how to do that. So if anybody knows, please let us know so I can figure out how to get this playlist up on Apple Music as well. But it lives on Spotify right now. All you have to do is search the official Sounds of STL playlist. Okay. You go to the website, you find that playlist. We are continuously adding songs, and each and every week we're picking different topics of songs to add to that. So week number 1, we did songs that are so St. Louis. Week number 2, we did the songs that made us.
Mhm.
So like songs personally
okay.
that played a huge impact on our life. And one of the songs that made my list was a song by the band Camp. It's called By and By. And our good friend Jeff Burton, I introduced him to that song, and he used to listen to it in the chair when he was getting chemo before he passed.
Oh, wow.
And so that song, every time I hear that song, I just think about Jeff, and I think about how, like, you know, it's weird as a grown man to say, like, oh, that guy was my best friend.
Yeah.
That dude was my best friend.
Man.
Like, that dude was my best friend. I still talk to his wife, Julie, all the time. I absolutely miss Jeff. And I know that Jeff would be incredibly happy to see my face and to
Absolutely.
hear my voice back, because what it means is not only am I able to do what I love and what I've dreamed of doing for a very long time, but Jeff loved himself a redemption and a comeback story.
Mhm.
He went through it multiple times himself.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to do this. And I know this sounds very cheesy, and I tried my best to not be cheesy today, but like each and every day that I sit behind a microphone and I get the opportunity to talk to the general public, all I think about is I just want to make sure that that dude knows that I'm not going to screw this up.
Right.
Like, I've been given an opportunity here that I don't want to drop the ball on. And it's not, you know, for myself, it's not for a lot of people. It's for Jeff, dude. I think about that every single day. And that's kind of why I wanted to do a music show, because music was so important to him as well.
Mhm.
So, and what a weird way to wrap up the show. But
Right.
Jeff, love you, buddy.
That was a good way,
Just
though.
Love you. And Last week we did. This week we did guilty pleasure songs.
Yeah. I
Guilty
actually
pleasure
listened
songs.
to that one as well.
So I thought that was a whole lot of fun. And we have a huge list of songs that we want to get to. I think the next one we're going to let the peoples pick. I'm going to leave it up to the people, whether you want to email in or you want to do any of that. By the way, you can email this show, archcitynow@gmail.com. You can also email the Sounds of STL. Sounds of STL is, again, the name of my show that airs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the Lou Information Station. You can find us on socials, me personally at On Air TP. You can find the show at Sounds of ST Lewis. You can also email that show at patrico@soundsofstl.com. I can't believe I didn't screw any of that up. That's a lot.
That was a lot.
That's a lot there.
That was a mouthful.
Also, we talked about the top news stories so far in the St. Louis area. I mean, I cannot believe that this year is halfway through already, which is absolutely obnoxious. I'm hoping that we get a little break in the heat because, to be honest with you, I'd like to have a little bit of a summer.
Yeah.
It's so hot right now, you can't have a summer.
Yeah.
My son goes, "Do you want to go play soccer outside?" No. Let's go play soccer in the basement. I don't care what gets broken. I do not want to go outside and play soccer. I don't want to go outside and walk to my car.
Right.
Like I may toss you my keys and have you pull it up right at the front door for me, because there's no way that, doing anything outside right now sounds absolutely miserable. But again, don't forget, you can tune in right here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. And don't forget about the YouTube channel as well. Arch City Now. Vic Faust will be back on Monday. Thank you to Vic for allowing me to fill in. Thank you to Joe for everything, dude. You literally have helped immensely today. So thank you. Thank you for everybody participating in the chat room, on social media. I really appreciate that. Make sure you stay tuned in. Hot Take Central is next. Jim the Cat Hayes, who I absolutely love, and Cam Jansen, who, don't punch me. I love you too, buddy. You can check them out. And of course, you can always find every lineup of the show, all the things that are talked about, by going on the website, louinfo.com. This is Arch City Now, and you can always get involved by not only calling the show, but also hitting us up on socials at Arch City Now, and of course by email, archcitynow@gmail.com. My name is Tony Patrico. This is the Lou Information Station, right here and online at louinfo.com.
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios, this is the Lou Information Station.